2-amp rig at last. Where's the Vox though? I've hooked it up and I've realised I actually don't need an attenuator for it. So, we've now got 3 amps. You really need a fancy gig rig switching system or something like that, but it's a little bit more Heath Robinson than that. Guitaristas is proudly supported by Gear for Music. Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. So, bit of a buzz in the studio here this morning. I'm not sure if you can hear that. Bit of a sizzle. That's the sound of not 1, not 2, but 3 tube amps cooking in the background. So if you've been watching for the last couple of weeks, you'll have seen that a couple of weeks ago we introduced the second tube amp into our rig. We've been using the Fender Princeton 65 forever, so thought time to mix it up. Put a Marshall JCM Studio in there a couple of weeks ago, and then last week mucked around with it a bit more and dialed in, I think pretty decent Marshall tone. But I'd always intended to have a Vox as my second amp. So, and actually, the reason I didn't do that to start with, the excuse I used, shall we say, apart from the fact that I thought, oh, it's going to be a lot of work. The excuse, so I used an excuse. I said, well, I haven't got an attenuator for the Vox, a decent one, you know, a proper one that I thought would look after it. So I hadn't done it. But then Adam Hall Audio hooked me up with a Palmer Supreme Soaker, which I hooked up to Marshall JCM Studio 800, which I inexplicably rushed out and bought. So, 2-amp rig at last. Where's the Vox though? Yeah, so, you know, I'd use this excuse that I didn't have a decent attenuator. Now I did. Well, I got 2. I've got the Ox and I've got the Palmer. So I thought, well, we'll try the Vox. So mucking around in a week, I've hooked it up and I've realised I actually don't need an attenuator for it. Vox AC15, it's top boost, so it's got master volume. So I mucked around a little bit and I got a nice sound, well, I think, at a decent level to match the other 2. So we've now got 3 amps. I've spent a little while working out how they operate. There's a bit of noise on this now because obviously I've got lots of different cables going everywhere. But hopefully that's not too bad. It's not too bad. It was awful earlier. Before I started filming, I had a really bad ground loop or whatever. And when I turned that light on, it was like, ah. But I managed to fix it. I got an extension lead, plugged it in elsewhere, and it's almost gone. But yeah, we really need a fancy gig rig switching system or something like that. But it's a little bit more Heath Robinson than that. So what I'm going to do is quickly talk you through how on earth I've managed to hook this thing up. And we'll see. And at the same time, demonstrate what each rig sounds like. So we'll start at the beginning. Polytune, obviously. And that goes into orange Detonator pedal number 1, which is an ABY switcher. I think it's a good one. It's got a phase switching and stuff like that on it. So yeah, that splits the signal basically. You can see on that at the moment it's green. That means it's going straight through the board here, okay? Let's show you what that sounds like now. That's just the Fender Princeton at the moment, okay? It's the sound you're used to on this channel. And obviously we can add pedals to that as to taste. No dive bombing, please. So, I mean, that's been our core sound for ages. I mean, obviously each guitar sounds different. This is quite bright, this. But well, that's the Fender Princeton. If we switch that to red, it's the Marshall JCM 800. And obviously we can have those two together. If we switch that to blue. There, you've only got the loop coming out of the Fender because the Marshall isn't going from the board to the looper. Get the idea. I think the Marshall's a nice addition. It's got that kind of, that rig now, the 2-amp rig's got a nice kind of visceral feel to it. It's alive. I was listening to last week's film and it's alive. You know, I can't imagine these digitals, all the digitals. I'm into tube amps, and I think that's why, because they're alive. They're an instrument of their own design. This proves that. You know, you've got. This doesn't prove anything, does it? So where's this going, Cole? So we've added another instrument to our back line. We've added a Vox. We've got the Marshall. All that's got on it is a little bit of Holy Grail reverb. The Princeton going through the board. And it's split again at this orange detonator here, which is splitting it between the Fender Princeton and the Vox AC15. On the green side, we've got the Fender, which we've been listening to. If we go red, we've now got a chime, eh? that's the Vox. Fender. Vox. Marshall. And we can have any combination you like, basically. So this is just the, yeah, I've got to think about this. Just the Fender and the Marshall. And this is the Vox and the Fender. So it's interesting. I'm going to have to muck around in post just to get the levels right, and I'll try and do a little bit of splitting so you can hear one side or other. So you should have the you looking at me. You looking at me. We should have the Fender on. I'm not going to go too extreme, but just if you put cans on, you might be able to hear it. The Fender on your right, the Marshall down the middle, and the Vox on your left. Okay. So what I'm just going to do now is I'm going to muck around. I'm going to play something, and the other thing is that I've managed to work out that the looper that I'm using is it's a Boss RC5. It's a stereo looper. So what I've got is the Fender and the Vox coming out of the orange Detonator, both going into the looper, and then going out of the looper into the amps. Which also means that as I record the loop, depending what setting I've got the amp switching on, I can record with either or both into the looper. So effectively, I should be able to do a loop. I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, because I'm not even sure it's going to work. Let's try this. So that's just the Fender now. See what I mean? Let's bring a Marshall in. See what I mean? I'm having fun. So, you know, endless possibilities, endless possibilities. Let's switch guitars. we dig the old Telecaster out. We'll start with the Princeton. I'm going to continue to use the Princeton as our bass line. So it's not going anywhere, you know, that'll always be our bass line, but now, well, I think, well, I can agree that we've got another 2 amps that are worth keeping to muck around with. This is the Princeton. Here's the Vox. That's a Telecaster neck pickup, okay? Now, people say they sound rubbish. It's very usable. It's very bright, this Telecaster. On the bridge, it's Vox. Marshall sound like. I can't remember it. It's a good job because I would have got a copyright strike. Right, we're going to go. It's quite confusing. Green, so going straight through the board. Blue. Fender and Vox. The Rat. That's all. that's all for this week. I hope you've enjoyed the mucking around. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, to be honest with you. Judge for yourselves. Leave comments. Let me know what you think. Which was your favourite? What do you like? What do you hate? Because there's a real mixed. there's a lot of mixed opinions on what sounds good and what sounds a bit shit. It's fascinating actually to hear it, really. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and come back next week and find out what we're up to then. I don't know yet. So I'm going to go away and work it out. Thanks for watching, as always. See you next week. Cheers. Ta-ra.